Hi, I'm Kyle, a tired therapist.
And I'm Jackie, also a tired therapist.
And together, we are
Two tired therapists. Welcome to the pod.
The dolls are the dolls.
The dolls are the dolls.
So,
and
what are you going to do?
Work the house down boots.
Work the house down boots for your nerves.
Work for your nerves. Well, welcome back to another tired episode
Tired episode.
of Two Tired Therapists.
We are indeed two tired therapists.
Oh my. Kyle, what's your tired business these days?
So, okay. Have you heard of this? The deworming of your intestines?
No.
Oh, Jackie.
My intestines have enough problems as it is.
You have to go down this. Let me just.
Is this where you eat a worm?
No.
Okay.
Let me say, we here at Two Tired Therapists believe in body autonomy.
Sure.
However,
Famously conservative over here.
famously, but just because we believe in that, it does not preclude us to having an opinion about what you're doing about your body.
Yes.
And we reserve the right to share that opinion here.
Yes.
So, there are people in this world that believe, because of the foods we eat, that there are worms or parasites, I'm not really sure, that live inside of your digestive tract, and that's what makes you very sick. And if you do whatever it is, you take these colonics or eat certain foods or do a little like up your pooper, the worms will come out.
What?
And Jackie, and people are posting their turds on Instagram saying, "Oh, yep, there's the queen. Oh, yep, that's a thing of eggs." And literally just these stringy poops because they've eaten. I'm sorry, trigger warning if any of you are eating. Should have probably said that too. So sorry. Because they're probably what's happening is they're consuming a shit ton of fiber in one sitting.
Or not
and
enough.
No, because the poop, I mean, it does come out like, it does look skinny, like it's super skinny like a worm, but it's because that food didn't stay in your body very long.
You know,
or you might have like colon cancer.
I was going to say, if your poop looks like a pencil, that you might have colon cancer.
It looks like and they're like, yep, that's a worm. And I'm like,
you have colon cancer, bitch, go talk to a doctor.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, people are, and then they say like, yep, deworming.
Well, now you've got me on. I was going to go one place and now I'm going to the other place where the things I'm tired of.
Great.
I think I'm tired of people sharing a little too much on
social
media.
There you go.
Oh my God. I just remember the days when Facebook was like, that was intense. And now I'm like, why did I ever like write that?
Oh.
And now I feel like we're coming to a place where it's like 2006 to 2008 Facebook where we're like, Jackie is what, and we're doing too much on social media. Do you remember
that?
Yes. Oh my God. Living.
We are doing too much. I mean, I always think back to the movie WALL-E when everybody's like
I think I feel like we've talked about this.
Cut. I'm leaving. I'm done.
I'm dinner for you.
I don't want dinner anymore.
Oh my.
Well, anyways, in WALL-E, it's this like all the people are like super fat and they're in these like chairs that they never have to leave. Like they can order food, they can order whatever they want. The chair like is hovering around. We're getting to that where like people are like living online. I feel like we sound like such conspiracy theorists. Like
no, it's
like AI's here, like VR's here, like.
Oh my God, I saw a really funny. I don't want to call it a meme because it was a video, but it was a really funny, probably TikTok that turned into a reel on Instagram of like. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was what boomers look like when they get an AI image. And it was like the very fakest image you could see. And the person was pretending to be a boomer and was like, this isn't real. What do you mean this isn't real? And I just was laughing. But yeah, I'm really tired. I don't know. Like vague booking was fun. Like, but now people will like go on their Instagram and be like, bitch, you wronged me. And it's like, girl, like we don't need to do that.
Do you remember?
Let's have some sense of decorum here.
Seriously. Did you ever back in the day with, with this, like you would post, like you would say like comment with a number and then I'll share what I think about you.
I have never done that. I can't.
Oh my God, I did. And it was because you would share that, people would comment a number.
Sure.
And then you would share on your status. You would put like number like 99 and then you would say what you think. But you're not tagging the person in it. Like it's kind of like anonymous.
It's too
Girl,
cringe for
when
me.
it comes up on my time hop, I'm like,
It's too
give up the
cringe for me.
ghost. Give up the ghost, young Kyle. Like,
Someone recently, I'll try to keep this as vague as possible. We can chat off air about.
oh, is it someone I know?
But no,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
Somebody did something similar to this not too long ago on Instagram, and I was like, it was a little. I was like, if you're having a bad day, that's one thing, but like, I don't know that I would do it. It used to be funny. Remember when Facebook, it was like, it would be like Kyle is, and then you had to,
and
you couldn't change the is.
No.
And then when they got rid of that, it was crazy.
And
Everybody went nuts.
if you didn't type like grammatically correct, you looked like a flop. Right? Like if you were like, Kyle is.
This can be a twofer because I'm tired of.
I'm doing all the things today. Kyle is, I'm doing all the things. No. You look stupid.
I always made my status so it made sense, like Jackie
Absolutely.
is going to class or whatever, but
100%.
mess.
Girl. Oh. I'm sorry. We're getting off. Did you see the kids? The kids are shooketh now because you can put a song on your Instagram page.
Oh, like MySpace? Yeah.
Yeah, it's MySpace. And the kids are shooketh. They're like, this is the coolest thing ever. Bitch, get a MySpace.
Bitch, it was crazy.
You don't fucking know.
It was crazy when you had to rank your friends. That was the real tea. You guys don't know anything. And then you changed it.
Yeah, you guys don't know shit.
You don't know anything about passive aggressive.
No.
Nastiness of
you
changing your number 2 and
that
your number
shit was
4.
hard too because like before it used to be like it was only your like top 4 and then they changed it. You could do like 6.
I think it was 8. The most it was ever 8. I remember.
I think it was 8, but and you had to put them in order.
Yes, you did.
And that was important.
Yeah, and it meant something. And then when your number 2 became your number 5, and your number 5 became your number 3, and your number 3 became your number 2, it was
the tea.
It
was boots the house down.
Mass chaos. Mm-hmm. Everybody went nuts. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we all were coders. It's fine.
Those were the days.
Zanga.
I
think about. Fuck. It doesn't exist anymore. I kind of wish it did.
Let's go back. Wow. What a blast. Well, you famously posted
today
a picture
from 11 years ago.
And it was so funny because you were literally a 2000s girly.
Mm-hmm.
And
with my limited
my
limited top and my liver print scarf.
That was layered. For sure, layers. I couldn't tell, but it was layered. I know it was layered.
Yeah, for a long time I did not wear anything but a tank top under all my shirts, no matter what time of year it was.
And the tank top was always a little longer, so that it was kind of like your secondary color.
Do you know how long it took me to stop doing that? I will say with probably in the last 3 years, I had to finally stop doing that.
I love it. And you had the bangs, you had the scarf.
I had the side swoop, the straightened hair.
It was iconic.
Yes.
I think I responded to you with the coffin emoji.
I was
live.
So cute.
I'm dead. I love it. I can't show you mine. God knows what it looks like. That's terrifying.
I won't even read the hashtags I put on that. Okay.
Oh. That's enough. That's enough doxing ourselves for the day.
Oh my God. Well, we're back to another lovely episode full of Reddit, but a different Reddit kind of episode
Reddit
this time. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go through the Ask a Therapist subreddit, and I'm gonna read some questions, and we're gonna answer. How we would answer if somebody was asking us this. Are you ready? This is gonna go down.
Yeah.
Okay. First one when we get into the subreddit and do the live questions that are being posted in this minute, I'll tell you. But these are ones that I've saved so far. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why do therapists ask clients what they're there for, even though this risks putting them into a downward spiral?
Goodbye. Next question.
I mean, I won't read the whole post, but I was like,
are we taking these questions seriously?
Yeah, let's just
okay.
Well, let's go in the middle. Let's say it's serious, but like also if I had somebody come into my office and was like, "Why are you asking?" Like, we were at the intake, so people did do that, and it's like I have to ask you this because this is part of what I can bill your insurance for. Like,
right.
And so, if me asking you what you're coming into therapy for is going to put you in a downward spiral,
you're not going to do well.
Then I'm going to call the hospital and we're going to get you there.
You're not going to do well in therapy because guess what? Guess what therapy is, bitch.
Well, and sometimes this you can be coming to therapy for one thing, and then over the course of therapy, it changes to something different.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I thought that one was funny. I was like, it was super confrontational. Like,
yeah.
Anyways,
are we answering it?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can.
Well, I was just going to add, yeah, I mean, we kind of have to. I mean, and it doesn't mean you have to get into the deep details. You could just say, like, oh, I'm having, a hard time at work, or, like, if it's the first appointment.
Or I'm struggling with anxiety. I mean, you don't have to say anything, like.
But also, that's how therapy works, is you
have to talk
you talk about your problem. I mean, it's more complicated than that. But, but also, it's not. Like, you talk about your problems to work through them.
Yeah.
And I don't know I think it's a myth that if people talk about their stuff, they spiral forever.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Unless you're schizophrenic.
The biggest
even if you're schizophrenic, you don't spiral forever. It stops.
I used to have to tell people all the time, I'm like, just because if you ask somebody if they're suicidal, is not going to make them go kill themselves later. Like,
no,
the research doesn't show that.
The research literally doesn't show that.
Anyways, you ready for the next one?
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be controversial. So,
okay, okay.
How do you honestly view your borderline patients?
I think that depends. And not to give a therapist answer, but that depends. I think some are very insightful and some have worked through a lot.
I do that. Yeah, I think it depends on the specific patient. I don't think it's a generalized thing.
I don't get scared by that. That does not scare me.
I think sometimes though it's like, I'll be honest, because I worked in a prison, so like in there I had a lot of patients with borderline on my caseload. Like you said, like some of them are pretty insightful. I had a couple that like they knew their stuff, they knew their triggers, they would do their thing, and I had some that were like just sheets to the wind, like blowing whatever the wind was going. So I mean, I don't feel like a certain type of way about them. I think it just depends on the individual client. Sometimes it's really tough to work with people who have borderline personality disorder. I won't lie about it. And it's only tough if they make it tough. Yeah. I can't work harder than you.
Sometimes you do. I think, especially if their insight is a little lower, like if they're beginning therapy. Yeah. You can't, well, I don't know.
I think
you can't be as direct, but at the same thing, like my thought is you're coming to therapy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be mean about it, but like if you come in and you're like, everyone in my life sucks, I'm going to be like, what's that about? Let's look at that. Like, I'm not going to let you just sit there and do that.
Well, and like no shade to anybody out there who like doesn't work with borderline clients. I mean, I've worked with so many that like it just, I don't know. I don't think twice about it. Like, I mean, I wouldn't think twice about it if I went back into like practice and was seen. Like, I don't think I would care. But I do understand that people who don't see borderline clients very frequently, like that could be really.
But how do you not? Because
it's hard.
It's a trauma. It's a response to trauma. So like, there's always been people. It's not happened much, but not always. I sometimes see therapists who are like, well, I don't work with trauma or I don't work with personality disorders. I'm like, then what do you do? Who do you see? Like,
I had a former coworker who
do I know
at
who
the
it
prison?
Is?
No, at the prison who like was like, I don't talk to people who have personality disorders, and I was like, there's an entire
you do.
There's an entire 60 plus people on our unit that are. I mean, like you just can't get away with that kind of thing.
No, exactly.
Just anyway, we could go into a
yes.
Although if anybody wants to listen to our borderline episodes, one of our first
it's one of our first ones.
But we could go down a rabbit hole with this. But
maybe we could do a reborn, a remake.
We re-listen to it and then we
go, wow, that was terrible. Let's update it.
Oh my gosh! Here's your next question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be inappropriate to ask my therapist a question about her life?
Depends on the question, I suppose.
Yeah, that's my answer. It depends on the question.
I always tell I'm pretty open as a therapist. Like I'm like obviously not telling them where I live, my address specifically, but like there's some that I'll say like, oh yeah, I live like behind something. But I always tell people, because I'll have people that say, can I ask a question about you? And I'll say, sure, but I reserve the right to not answer.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think I've ever been asked anything that I'm like, oh, I'm not answering that.
Well, and I worked in such a different population that never, I know I've famously talked about, like, I never answered a question about my personal life so much so that a lot of them thought I was a lesbian. But, which, who cares? But I think prison is much different. You don't tell them anything about yourself. I would even lie about my favorite color when they would ask me. That sounds so bad. But like you just don't want them to like they all
to use it against you in any way.
Like turquoise is my color for sure. But I had all purple stuff when I worked in the prison. Like I had a purple bag. I wore purple scrubs most of the time, and they all thought purple was my favorite color, which was fine with me. Like that's harmless. But I would watch my coworkers get more pointed questions, and like they'd be like, oh, like some of them would talk about like having pets, which I'm like, that's harmless. So like it really just depends. This one specifically was saying they noticed a ring on their therapist's finger, indicating that they were engaged potentially. So they were wanting to ask if that was okay.
Well, and I think that kind of stuff, like
if I was in private practice, I probably would be I'd be much more open to an extent than I was in the prison.
I think too. I mean, it depends on the client too. Like, and maybe this is unethical, but I have some clients that they know a lot more about my life than others do, just because
Yeah.
Like I have a couple that like they know about Edward and they ask about him and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna open
Oh.
Pandora's box. You ready?
Okay. Oh my.
Why
My.
is having a relationship with my therapist viewed as wrong? Let me just read the. There's one sentence, two sentences.
Like a romantic relationship?
I'm gonna keep this all very short and vague for obvious reasons, but my therapist has expressed interest in me, and I feel the same. Why is it so taboo?
Boop. It's
Girl.
girl.
Here's the thing. There's something called power,
Yes.
and
Yes.
any therapist who tells you that they
Let's
don't
start
hold
there.
any kind of power over you is lying, because it's not like a friendship. Like, your relationship with your therapist is not a friendship.
Not completely, no.
And so while it may feel like that, it's not. And so and depending on where you work, if you work, I won't go down the huge rabbit hole because I could go down a rabbit hole with this. We have some ethical standards that prevent us from doing this.
Yes.
That's the shortest answer I can give. Now, it's not unheard of.
It's not unheard of. It's actually more common, I think, than most people. It's not common, but I wouldn't say it's rare either. And I think you're right. One of is the power dynamic.
Yeah.
It's not 50-50.
No,
it's
it's
never going to be 50-50. It might get down to 51-49.
Sure.
But that's going to be on the therapist.
Sure.
The therapist always has more power than the client. Always. Doesn't matter what we say.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, and if you're this is a very specific example, but if you're mandated in treatment or something like that, like then
it's
or
much
you're reporting
higher.
like if you're on probation,
Absolutely.
or if you're in a prison, like you're
Yeah.
sort of more in charge. There's a lot more power to that
Absolutely.
situation than any kind of other.
Yeah, but I think too. I mean, a therapist-client relationship is just naturally in itself very healing. Like that's why therapy kind of works, is because of the relationship.
Yeah.
It's a very unconditional positive regard, right? Like hopefully you get no judgment from a therapist.
Right.
They listen to you.
Sure.
They tend to care and tend to be nice.
It feels a lot more intimate than.
Yeah, it is. It's more intimate than a friendship.
Yeah.
I would say I think what most people would like in a romantic relationship, but not without the sex. But I think people who have had difficult relationships in their life and then are faced with this healthy relationship, it gets very confusing.
I have some stories. Well, I worked in a male prison.
Yeah.
And so that happened a lot. Like the guys would be like, I think I'm in love with you. And
Right.
I'm like,
You're not.
You're not. I said, we'll stop right there for today.
I'm going to stop you there.
And then I would explain that. Like, and a lot of them had, 99% of them had trauma. Like, there was attachment issues. Like, there's a lot of things that play into it.
And not to say that makes it okay, but, like, that's why it happens. And therapists are human, too, at the end of the day.
Sure.
And sometimes, like, it happens.
Yeah.
I don't have a client I've ever been attracted to. I have some that I'm like, oh, you're cute, but I'm not, like,
yeah, I've never had
it's
a client.
like a fleeting thought.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, now you're my client.
I've never had a client that I was like, oh, I want to date you. But like, I mean, you can objectively look at a human person and say,
Absolutely.
oh, you're cute.
Absolutely.
Or whatever.
Or like,
whatever.
yeah. So
and they teach that in school too. They teach you sort of how to deal with that stuff.
Yes.
So
because again, because the other part is we have to be unbiased, and if we have feelings for you, feelings can make us biased.
Colors, yeah.
So you don't, you're not gonna get. You're not doing therapy if someone likes you. They might just tell you what you want to hear. So that's why it's problematic.
Yes, it is. Okay. We're on the problematic train. You
Yay.
ready? Would a therapist be obligated to report a person who experiences an attraction towards children?
Not if it's just an attraction. I don't believe we are.
Yeah.
Nope.
This person says, I'm not talking about patients who have confessed or known to have acted on these desires, but rather in the case where they are seeking help in order to manage that attraction. No, I can't. Who am I going to call?
Ghostbusters.
I mean, yeah. Who am I? I mean, I guess.
Well,
but
I think even if they've confessed, you can't. It's
no,
only
actually,
if
no,
it's
yeah.
active. Like if they were like, when I
they're
leave
actively
here,
abusing each other. Yeah.
When I leave here, I'm going to go abuse, blah, blah. Then you
have
to.
There's certain times you can break confidentiality, and one of those is for child abuse. Known child abuse.
It can't be suspected.
Can't be in the past. Yeah, like, yeah.
So if it's like, if your client, because I had this happen one time, my client said that someone else told them that like their neighbor was abusing their kid or something. Like it was like hearsay.
Yeah.
That cannot be reported unless it's firsthand. Like,
yeah, unless that person was called. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was somebody who came in for an intake, and a long convoluted story short, she was telling me that her nephew's best friend's cousin's son got abused by the bus driver, and I was like, she was telling me this, and I was like, okay, and this had nothing to do with why she was coming in, but she was just one of those people who's talking
But then
about,
it's like, do I have to report that?
and then I was like, wait, and then I'm like, no, reporting is pretty strict. I mean, it's for that kind of stuff, it's very strict, but no, for attraction, no.
Have you had to do a lot of reporting? You probably had.
I've done a couple times. Yeah, I don't love to do it.
I've only had, I think just once.
There was one time I reported that I don't agree with reporting, but because we can talk about this off air, but because somebody else said, like, went and told our boss about it, and then our boss was like, you should have, and I was like, I still think it was on the line. Yeah. Anyways, we can talk about it later. Okay, next one. Have you ever been ghosted by a client?
Oh yeah, for sure. It happens all the time. And I don't take it personally anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Is it okay to tell my therapist I'm done in an email?
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
I think that's fine. I think
you should tell them. I think if you're like, I don't want to come back, either a phone call or an email.
Whatever it is. Yeah. I think you should always, if your therapist takes that personally, that's problematic. They need to work on that. Like, if someone just said, I don't feel like we're clicking, or I don't like the way you work, or what, fine, great. Like, guess what, boo? I got a whole wait list, so I'm okay. It's cool.
Have fun.
I think therapists, most will be understanding and may even want to work. If it's an issue that you want to work through, they will work with you on it too. Yeah. So you should always communicate with your therapist what's going on. 100%. Yep. Yeah.
Therapist spelled my name wrong after having a close relationship for years. It's on purpose.
Spelled it wrong?
Spelled it wrong.
No, that
could be autocorrect. That could be spell check. That could be I'm typing this fast in between the session. I gotta go take a piss.
And we have like a billion clients. So sorry if I had 3 Taylors today and you spell yours Taylor and yours is Tailor. At least they got your name right. Yeah. Because there's sometimes I'm like, I think I'm calling their person the wrong name.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's on purpose, truly. Unless there's been other things that have transpired that would make you feel that way, but I
would say
I don't get to.
Unless your name is like Max and they spelled it like Max with 3 X's. That's a little weird. That might go back to the attraction piece. I don't know.
All right, last question that I saved, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll go live.
Live on the scene. Live on the scene.
Although I did read something that I saved for a future episode that I almost feel like I should read for this one because it's kind of related. But anyways, last question. Is it okay if I ask my therapist not to tell me anything about their personal life? Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think I've never had someone say that to me specifically, but I have people who don't, who yeah,
I don't think it's that
who I think don't want that blend. They just see me as the therapist, which is fine. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I wouldn't be offended if somebody.
I feel like you shouldn't.
They should be a blank slate. A therapist really should be a blank slate in a way for you. Well, okay, maybe not a blank slate, but neutral. Maybe neutral.
As far as it's not about me.
Yeah.
If you know a lot about your therapist because they tell you a lot unprompted, that's a little strange. But if you've asked, I might share a little bit, and that's in context to what they're saying. If they're I don't know, oh, sometimes it's hard for me to do blah blah blah. I'm totally. I go through that too, and I know lots of people who do. But yeah, I'm not how are you today? Yeah, I'm doing okay. I just
this bitch in my office was pissing me off. I mean, that kind of stuff. It's
depends on the client. Well, but sure.
All right. Well, we will take a short little break, and then we will go live on the scene.
Live on the scene.
Subreddit.
Oh my god.
And
coming to a home near you.
God. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
We're live.
In
the depths of
live
Reddit.
In Reddit.
We're in the caves of Reddit. I'm not going to read every single one, but I'm going to read the one I think is interesting. So first one that's coming up, what makes your favorite client your favorite?
Well, ethically, I'm not allowed to have a favorite client. I think probably just similar personalities. as I'm thinking about mine, like a lot of mine who are like kind of like me, like witty and like funny and don't like take not that we don't take therapy seriously, but like don't take life too seriously or like
I think it just depends. I like for me it's like the same thing, like there's a similar sense of humor usually is what does
and
it
some
for
of
me.
it too I think is what they are going through. I mean, I think naturally therapists feel more comfortable working through some issues than others. Like I always say, I'm very good at one-sided couples therapy. Like I love
That's
that.
your pitch.
That's my like I love one-sided couples.
Oh my god, I love it.
So yeah.
How where's this one? I just scroll past it. How do you find a practical, more proactive therapist? Which I think it depends on what you're looking for in therapy, but
well, I think so. A lot of therapists, I should say, a lot of therapists, especially if they're in like a private practice, not so much in an agency, probably. You can typically talk to them before you schedule anything. A lot of therapists will offer a free consultation.
Yes.
And you can say, I'm looking for someone who's practical and whatever. And then they can say, yes, I'm that way, or no, I'm not. Like, if you came and asked that for me, I'm not like that. You ain't getting a worksheet from me. You ain't getting, like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Others will. So I say just ask.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what you're.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this because I don't know what this is. And if you know what this is, I'm going to be interested.
I hope I know what it is.
Do you think it's a red flag if a therapist doesn't know about, quote, third places, end quote?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Thank God. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Third places?
I opened the post and everyone's like, what is this? And then somebody says this is mostly referenced on TikTok.
Oh, get out. No.
It's a sociology concept. I don't even know what that is.
I hate it. Third places?
I don't know what that means.
Because it's not real. That's why. It's not real. So is it dumb for you to be mad if your therapist doesn't know? Yes, it is. It's very stupid.
Is it a red flag of the therapist? We don't know.
No, because I bet
social space that's distinct from home and work where people can connect with community. I don't know if this is what they're actually referencing. Refers to the social surroundings that are separate from the two usual social environments.
I mean,
get out of here.
Get out of here.
Bye.
I mean, I think that's certainly something that gets assessed in your intake is where's your social support? How are you at home? How are you at work? How's your social life? But I don't think anyone's going to go, what's your third place? If someone asked me that, I'd deck 'em.
It's in the Sims 2 Pleasant View neighborhood. That's what I would say.
I'm fucking dead. Because you would answer that. And
you're just
dead.
In your Lego room, your future Lego room.
Right.
All right, here's a good one.
I hate that.
I don't even know if we're going to be able to answer this, but we'll try. How to be less toxic.
Be self-aware.
Yeah, I was going to say, have insight.
Self-awareness.
Try to develop insight within yourself. That's the shortest answer I can give
Absolutely.
for that.
Go to therapy.
Go to therapy. I did this in the most recent, so we're really live on
I
the
love
scene
it.
here.
I love it. Hopefully some people are listening and they'll be like, that's mine. Probably not.
How do you help patients who are dealing with physical health problems?
That one, well, I guess if it's a chronic issue, then we work towards acceptance.
Sure. If it's like something that's developing as I'm seeing you, like I can try to help you find doctors or I can refer you.
Oh, for sure.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some of that is.
I mean, I'm thinking like chronic pain or something.
Yeah.
Like we have to go, okay, like this is something we have to figure out how to accept.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. But then also working on things like, knowing your body and routines and stuff like that. Yeah.
This person just wrote LCPC/LMHC versus LCSW. Like, what's the difference? I'm assuming.
Well, so what was the LPC, right?
It's what LMHC is in other states.
Yeah. So LPC and LMHC are the same thing.
Yes.
It's just by state.
Yes.
Because licensure is done by the state. So
yes.
Indiana has requirements. Illinois has requirements. They're not always the same.
Nope, they are not.
Don't
get me started.
Now, LMHC and LCSW, they have different training and different schooling.
Yeah.
So we're both LMHCs, right?
Yes.
We're both LMHCs. I'm, of course, not that LCSWs are bad. The way that I see it is LMHCs get trained kind of like we dabble in everything. You kind of get trained for a little bit of everything.
Sure.
And then you decide what you like, and your internship and all that is where you get a lot of your training. LCSWs are more...
It's more like, I don't want to say... My thing is... I don't want to make the LCSWs
I know,
mad.
they're going to be mad.
LMHC, I'm trying to give you therapy counseling.
Yes.
LCSWs not necessarily. No, do they? Yes. I'm not saying that, but they're mostly trained for like case management.
Yes,
like
they don't get
referrals.
As much clinical training as we do. Theirs comes after, and you can write in, tell us if we're wrong, but we're not. Like,
so sorry.
Like an LMHC, if you're on an LMHC track, you are doing therapy. Everything is therapy. Yeah. We're not doing, there's no sociology where you're learning about environment and like, no, we're doing therapy. LCSWs are doing more, like you said, case management.
Linking
like
to
how
services.
do you treat the person in their community? How do you treat, we don't do that. And I don't, no, one's not better than the other. I think you really have to, and I always tell people.
The big thing with the LCSWs is they can see Medicare patients and we still can't.
Not anymore.
Oh, is it changed
this year?
Oh, it did change this year?
You can now. Yes, you can. Yep.
Oh,
yes.
Well, there you go. Never mind. It used to be that way where we couldn't see Medicare
They can
patients.
still only be supervised.
Yeah.
You can only an LCSW can supervise a baby social worker.
Yeah.
An LMHC.
LMHC can have any kind of supervisor, PsyD, LCSW, LMHC, but LCSWs have to have either an LCSW or a PsyD.
Yes. So I always tell, especially people who are going into like counseling and they're like, what should I do? I always say you kind of have to think, what do you see yourself doing? Like if you're going to do private practice, I would do an LMHC, or there's LMFT, marriage and family therapist. That's more if you like to do like couples and families, which, excuse me.
I had to take a extra special class in the state because the licensure at the time was not the same.
Oh,
and the professor, she was an LMFT. She almost made me want to go into it. She almost made me want to like pivot into it.
That was her.
She was interesting. I liked her a lot.
I had my group's class. She was an LMFT, and the way she did couples, and I was like, man, that sounds cool, but I can never fucking do that.
No. It was crazy.
So
let me see. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll do our little.
But I would never. I would never say like, don't see a social worker.
No, I would never say that either.
I think
it just depends on what you're looking for personally.
I think most of the people in my office are LCSWs actually.
Interesting. All right, let me move on. Ooh, there's some really interesting ones. Okay. Is it possible just to have non-addressable depression?
What is that?
I don't know. It says, I'm on medication, which helps a little, but I'd still describe my lifestyle as waiting to die.
Oh.
Which is kind of sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. It just was very blunt. I don't have an enjoyment in anything. I'm not actively suicidal, although I have frequent suicidal ideation. It's a whole thing, but that's kind of what they're saying.
You just probably haven't dug deep enough to figure out what's going on.
Or you've just had people who don't click with you. It's not you. It's just the therapist maybe isn't good, or maybe you need a higher level of treatment.
Could be.
What you've gotten. I don't know.
It could be your medication's not quite right. Even.
Or maybe you need ECT or whatever. I mean,
Maybe, it could be that you've got a more persistent.
ECT is not as crazy. It used to be back in the day.
It's not crazy at all.
No, it's not.
It's magnets.
But it used to be like
I have several clients who have done
the fuck out of you now.
No, it's not that. No. I mean that still exists, but it's like not. That's like if everything we've tried doesn't work.
I'm gonna read you this because I think. Sorry, we have to move on because there's so many good ones that I have to like. This is a hard and fast. You're gonna answer this.
We're live. Yeah.
Because I really am interested in your opinion because I have a lot of opinions about this. Breastfeeding / nursing at age 8. How typical is this, and is it cause for concern?
Yes.
Kyle's face is.
It is.
Quite
yes,
expressive.
That's I believe too old.
I won't read the whole thing, but the first sentence is, I found out my boyfriend's aunt is still nursing her 8-year-old son.
I mean, I can't point you to any research, but I'm
going to say there's going to be some attachment issues.
My gut says no. It's a big no. It's a no for me.
No, I think there's going to be some attachment issues later in life. And or a very unhealthy codependent relationship. That's strange. Speaking of, sidebar, there was a story on Reddit. I have to believe this was fake because I could never believe this was true. But it was a woman writing. She said on her wedding day, as she was the bride, she walked in on her future husband breastfeeding his mom. He was like 20 something years old, late 20s. And the mom like looked at her and was like, well, you're going to have to do this with him now. And I have to believe this story was fake because there's no fucking way. And she like ran out of there. They canceled the wedding and everybody was like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm just telling people. And people were like, you should tell people because this is fucking weird.
I don't know. I bet it happens. I bet there And look,
I guess
we here at Two Tired Therapists don't yuck anyone's yum, but I'm sure there are men out there who have a fetish of breastfeeding. I'm sure of it. Sure of it. Anyways.
Next question. I'm reading this because I feel like this is something that wouldn't happen, but I think would be a good bonding moment for therapist client. Accidentally pooped myself in therapy. What now? They're in the middle of cancer treatment and they were not feeling well.
Nobody.
And they're like, I'm so embarrassed. I don't think it would be that embarrassing to be honest, but
not at all.
And
especially if you have no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and it sounds like it wasn't like they took a full poo on the couch. Like maybe they didn't trust a fart is what it sounds like.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah. I don't feel like
no.
All right, I'm going to do... Ooh, this is a good one. I'll do like 2 more. What is the ideal way for a therapist to respond to triggering a client in session? I will let you answer this.
Well, I guess it depends. Is there any backstory?
I'm looking for perspective as I had the most bizarre termination session with my therapist where she expressed concern about continuing to talk through a rupture because she was afraid of triggering me. That's really all it says. I think the thing is you're not always going to know, I feel like you're the client's going to have to tell you that. And I think it just is like,
we've talked about doing an episode on triggers. I mean, I think this is your triggers are yours to manage.
Yeah. 100%.
People can be considerate, but at the end of the day, that's yours. I mean, I think being triggered in therapy is an opportunity to figure out why.
Yeah.
I think if the therapist is doing something that's so totally inconsiderate, then I think that is different. But that shouldn't have. I mean, I won't say it won't. Again, therapists are people; they make mistakes. But
yeah, I
don't know about that.
I don't think you're gonna know. And I think if a client brought it up to me and was like, "Hey, something you said upset me," or maybe not use the word trigger, I think that's worth talking about.
Or even if they did, I'd say, "Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's see what's going on."
Yeah.
Now, if the therapist was like, "Well, that's your problem," oh, okay. Well, then you gotta go, girl. Okay, gotta go. Last one. I'm trying to pick because there's a couple good ones. We'll end with this one. Is it normal to feel worse after a therapy session? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Depends on what you talked about, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's normal. I mean, you shouldn't feel so dysregulated and
no,
that you're gonna hurt yourself. But again, part of therapy. I mean, sometimes you do, but you should at least feel stable enough to leave.
Yeah.
No one. You shouldn't leave in a completely I don't know.
Yeah.
Dysregulated is what I keep wanting to say. But yeah, I mean, again, part of therapy is you come in and you talk about things that are hard and upsetting. So sometimes, yeah.
Well,
that was fun.
We have to we could do this. This could be part of our
hopefully that was
Reddit rotation.
I don't know. Hopefully it was fun for everybody. It was fun for me.
I don't know. If you have questions for
now
us.
Watch people write and be like, none of your answers were right. You're a terrible therapist.
Oh my God. I would love it. Oh my God. Well, we're going to do our BuzzFeed quiz.
Great.
And we're just going to steamroll through it.
Yeah.
Celebrities lost Who Wants to Be a Millionaire by getting these 15 questions wrong. Can you beat them?
We can.
We're going to do teams.
We can do it.
We might need it.
I love trivia.
Oh my gosh. This is a $16,000 question. Since 2014, whose sonorous voice has been heard in Arby's ad insisting, "What have the meats?" Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Dennis Haysbert, Ving Rhames. It's not Morgan Freeman.
It's Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Samuel Jackson.
See, I think it's Ving Rhames. It's too deep to be Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, you might be right. I don't know. It doesn't sound like Samuel L. Jackson.
Not now, but when was this?
Well, I'll trust you because I don't know. This is from since 2014, whose sonorous voice has been heard in Arby's ads insisting, "We have the meats."
Okay.
Oh my God. BuzzFeed mistyped this question on their thing. Morgan Freeman, no. Samuel L. Jackson, maybe. Dennis Haysbert, maybe. Ving Rhames. I don't know who Dennis Haysbert is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the last two names. For some reason.
I'm going to Google Dennis Haysbert because I don't know who that is. He is known.
What, just as the Arby's person?
No. American actor. He's known for his roles as Pedro Serrano in Major League Film Trilogy.
What?
I don't know who this guy is.
No. I don't think it's who it is now, but I think he's done. I think he did it.
Who, Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, I think he did.
Let's do it. Nope, it was Ving Rhames.
Fuck.
I was like, that's not his voice, but I don't know.
There you go. Well,
Ving Rhames, yeah. Okay, 64,000. We're not doing this right.
well, we're not doing well.
$64,000. In decimal form, how many current members of the Supreme Court are female? 0.19, 0.27, 0.35, 0.44. So it's Kagan.
Well, that's not now, is it? When was that done? It's changed.
This is from this year. It says September 19th.
Oh, it says this year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, so it's Kagan. You don't know anything.
Fucking no.
I think it's going to be
Sotomayor.
Kagan, Sotomayor. Is it just the two of them?
It actually might just be the two of them. And how many?
And there's 9.
Is there 9? So 1 divided by 9.
2 divided by 9 is...
It'd be...
Is that point? It's almost point... Nope, I got it wrong. I did 0.19 because I'm 0.44.
Yay. Well, then that's more. That's... there must
They
be
forgot how
someone
many
we're
total
missing.
justices... okay, now I have to Google this. This is sad.
We're not doing very good.
We're not doing good. This is...
Not doing good.
Oh, Amy... We forgot about that bitch, Amy Coney Barrett.
Oh, well, there you go. So 3 9s, which is
We got 2
which
of
is
them.
1/6. Yeah, sure. There you go.
Oopsies. Okay, next question. 64K question. Sold at auction for over $1.1 million in 2023, a red wool sweater famously worn by Princess Diana in 1981 is adorned with with a whimsical pattern of what? Strawberries, ladybugs, sheep, teapots. Oh, girl, I don't know this.
Girl, I don't know. I was thinking...
Red sweater. Okay, let's think about this, though.
Trying to think any red sweater she ever wore. I want to say strawberries.
Same.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sheep.
Fuck,
Girl.
get the fuck out of here. This shit.
We would not have won.
I
Okay.
hate this.
Watch the higher level questions we're going to get. So this is 125K. The standout item at a 2024 auction of memorabilia from TV's Succession, never seen it, was an extra large Burberry tote famously described on the show as what? Hideously expansive, farcically behemoth. I can't read some of these words. Ludicrously capacious, grotesquely sprawling.
No idea.
I'm going to say hideously expansive. Oh my God, it was ludicrously capacious.
I
I've
hate
never
this
watched that
game.
show. Have you watched it?
No.
I guess it's pretty good. Oh, we're doing so terrible. Okay, 125K. In the Beckham test, a viral trend inspired by a Netflix docuseries, social media users dance in front of their partners while what song plays? What? Okay, Smooth Operator, Islands in the Stream, The Safety Dance, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. So this has percentages, so they must have done a poll of the audience for this. So Smooth Operator was 29%, Islands in the Stream was 15%, The Safety Dance was 33%, and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go was 23%. I'm going to go with the majority on this. No! Oh my God. Mock the audience. Wow. What with the safety dance? It was really Islands in the Stream. I don't
know. I hate
I'm
this.
about to cancel this and we're going to go to a different quiz.
No, let's keep going.
Okay, 125K. Since 2002, what U.S. city has displayed giant portraits on its buildings honoring hometown heroes like Diane Sawyer, Jennifer Lawrence, and Jack Harlow? Oh, this is Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Phoenix, Louisville, Pittsburgh,
Louisville. Yeah,
Kansas City. It's Louisville. She's from Louisville. I only know that because of Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, you know what? We got one.
Okay,
so
we got one
fuck
so far.
off.
This is another 125K. What slang term for the person in charge became part of our national lingo after it was used by one of Richard Nixon's aides on the Watergate tapes? Top banana, muckety muck, big enchilada, grand poobah.
Probably Grand Poobah, right?
I would say big enchilada.
I was thinking that one too. No, let's do
Let's do big enchilada.
No, yeah.
That's right.
Okay, good.
We're redeeming ourselves slowly. Okay, this is 250K.
Oh, nice.
To create a realistic looking farm without using CGI, Christopher Nolan had a 500-acre cornfield planted in Western Canada for which of his films? Oppenheimer, Tenet, Inception, Interstellar.
Oh, I feel like Interstellar. Didn't he crash
Wasn't that in space?
But didn't he crash
I've never
at the end of it in a
I haven't
cornfield?
seen any of these movies.
Wasn't that Matthew
Oh wait, no,
McConaughey?
I did see Inception.
I don't remember a cornfield.
It's
now.
not.
I've never
it's not
seen.
Matthew McConaughey. It's just what Christopher Nolan film.
No, I know, but wasn't Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar?
I thought it was Matt Damon.
Maybe it was Matt Damon. Fuck. I've never seen.
I've seen
Oppenheimer.
Inception.
I don't think there was a cornfield in that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think there was one in Oppenheimer either.
We'll do Interstellar. That would be my second guess. Would have been Interstellar.
Because what was the other one?
Tenet. I've never
I
seen
don't know
that.
what that is.
It's Interstellar. You're
Nice.
correct.
Nice. It's probably not what I'm actually remembering, but I'm
Sure.
glad we got it right. That's all that matters.
Which of the following pairs, this is 250K, which of the following pairs, a historical figure and the actor who portrayed him on the big screen, was never alive at the same time?
Oh.
Howard Hughes and Leonardo DiCaprio, Mahatma Gandhi and Ben Kingsley, Malcolm X and Denzel Washington, and P.T. Barnum and Hugh Jackman. Ooh, this is interesting. They were not alive at the same time. I don't know.
It would have to be P.T. Barnum, right? I mean, that was like
I would think
that
it's
was like the 20s and 30s.
I would think it's Howard Hughes and Leonardo DiCaprio. Didn't he die in like the 40s? I think P.T. Barnum lived into his 80s.
Did he?
And if you gotta think if Hugh Jackman was born, like if he died in,
He's probably like what, 50?
yeah, probably, if not closer to 60.
So that would have been the 80s.
I feel like it's Howard Hughes. Now watch me get this wrong.
No, let's do it.
I'm pretty sure Gandhi and Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
You were right. It was P.T. Barnum and Hugh
Damn
Jackman.
it.
Really? That's crazy. When did Howard Hughes die? I have to look this up now. Did you
This
ever see
is
that
no
movie?
longer about the episode. This is just about us.
We're doing so poorly. 1976. Okay, he died in 1976. I thought he died in like the 40s. 250K in the NATO phonetic alphabet that begins Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. What is the only letter represented by the name of a sport? GLJP.
Well, G is gamma. L is...
This is in the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Oh, NATO?
Yeah.
Like alpha, beta, what? Alpha, beta,
Alpha,
Kappa?
Bravo, Charlie. So it's not.
Oh.
It's not that.
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. What is it? NATO?
I don't know.
What were they again? GL?
GJLP. Because G could be golf. That was my first thought. Then I'm like,
Oh, I think it is G. Golf, yeah.
we got it right.
Yeah.
Oh, they put the people who answered this thought it was P for polo.
Oh.
250K. Admitting she wasn't very religious, writer Nora Ephron once said that if she had a religion, it would be you can never have too much what? Cashmere, chutzpah, butter, dental floss.
It's got to be a chutzpah.
I don't know. I feel like it's butter, but I'll go with chutzpah. It was butter.
We suck.
Oh my, we're not doing very well. Okay, everyone's listening.
They've stopped. They've
ended
stopped.
the
It's okay. It's not about them anymore.
Okay, this is 250K. 200,000 times stronger than a shark's ability to smell blood. Human beings are acutely sensitive to geosmin, the chemical compound behind what scent. These two use the 50-50, so the answers are narrowed down. It's either stinky cheese or fresh rain.
I would say fresh rain.
Me too. I'm gonna go rain. Yep,
Nice.
we got it.
Nice.
It's 500,000. Oh, we're getting big time.
Hey, I'd been like going home. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, great. Oh, we'll get this. You and I will get this, and if we don't, it's
Canceled.
It's canceled for us. Which of the following is a character from the Charles Dickens novel Great Expectations and not a former contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dusty Ray Bottoms, Rebecca Glasscock, Victoria Porkchop Parker, Belinda Pocket. It's Belinda Pocket.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
knows
yeah.
drag queens. I was like, thank God.
Now we could dominate that
Yes,
shit.
oh my
Because I
God.
know Charles Dickens.
Oh my God.
You know drag queens.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 500K. Since he reportedly hated the name Scarface, Al Capone's inner circle called him by what nickname? Slang for stylish. Bimbo.
Oh.
Snorky. Nerds. Sheba. I don't know. I feel like I
wanna
should
say
know this.
Nerds. I don't know. Or it could be Sheba.
I was thinking Sheba.
Let's go Sheba.
Snorky.
Oh, okay.
What?
Goodbye.
Part of me was like, maybe it's Bimbo, but then
Watch,
I'm like,
you know what? Kathy's probably at home like, you guys didn't know. It's gonna be your.
I'll be
it's gonna be your
interested,
note
Mom. You'll
and
have to tell me if
correction.
you got any
Yeah.
of these right. Years before, this is 500K, years before he became the king of canned pasta, Chef Hector Boiardi prepared dinner for what U.S. president while he was honeymooning with his second wife? Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover.
I want to say Wilson. Was he married twice?
I don't really know. I don't think Teddy was married twice. I don't know. I don't know presidential trivia that much. We'll go Woodrow Wilson. You're correct.
Nice.
We got 77 out of 15. We scored better than 75% of quiz takers.
That's pretty good.
So I'll
take
it.
that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That was tough.
Wow.
We almost didn't make it.
But we did, and that's all that matters.
You're like, let's do a trivia quiz, and now
I know. Now I'm like, well, we'll never do that again.
Oh my god.
That was no good.
Well, kids, I hope you loved this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should say well flops.
Well, flops. We're flops too. It's fine.
We wouldn't have won on. We would have gotten booted immediately. Did you ever watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when it was new?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a new season. That's why there was this quiz.
Oh. Who's the host?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh. Ugh.
I miss Regis. Is he dead?
I don't think so. I think he's very old.
I thought he died.
I don't think so. Did he? No, I just think he's very old.
He died.
Oh, he did?
He died in 2020.
Cut the feed.
Cut the camera.
Cut the cameras. This is over. This episode is over.
Oh, yeah, I remember because it was Regis and Kathy Lee. I used to watch that with my mom when I was a kid. Did you ever watch that? That was so funny.
Yeah,
I remember. Anyways.
Wow.
I hope he didn't. Did he die of COVID? He died in July 2020. I have to know. So sorry, everybody. I have to know. Oh my
Which
God.
means you all have to know as well. Well, some people find their death to be a private matter and don't want you to know. So
no, I get that. But usually they'll tell you or whatever. Doesn't say writings, personal life, health and death. He had a heart attack. Good for you, Regis.
Good for you.
Died of COVID.
Going to the end. Don't let Miss Rona take you out. And that's a lesson for all of us. So on that note, stay tired.
And petty.